window. And that is, she had previously got it's only go to Australia with my lady. No, good afternoon. Into go through LA and up in the Beavercreek Rotary. So this is the 24th of October. And I don't have a microphone, I'm gonna work that. I looked in the back. It's not back there. It's not under here. You guys don't have to talk up. Derek's kind of goes to the looking for a place to find my hand. That'd be better. I think we're getting. Don's got it. Oh. You just didn't you didn't look for the right place? No. Was that a Georgia man? It's ready. Oh, yes. Okay. Had to get an official to find this for me. Again, good afternoon. Welcome to Beavercreek Rotary, October 24th. And invocation for the Denny Church. All right, you're welcome. They're ready. Come on. You say none? Yeah, I'll send today. Well, good afternoon. Would you join me in prayer on this absolutely drop-dead gorgeous day? Oh, Holy Creator, we pray for the bifocals of faith so that we can see the concerns of moments right under our noses, but also see further on your purpose in working out your plan in your world that you have made. We pray for the ability to see at close range our part as a group to become a solution, partners to the giving of time and effort and money. And we also pray for the ability to see clearly in the distance for those who partner with us. May we look for visions through these cycles of faith and then act. Amen. 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 Thanks, sir. Yeah, you ready with the secretary report?
We are at 56, and the speakers are our guests. So I'm sure we'll introduce that.
All right. Personal announcements. I got a couple. Flags for heroes. We're going to be putting those flags up on November 6th. Oh, at 3:00 in front of Be Hope Church, like usual. And we'll be removing them on November 13th at the same time, 3:00. We're removing them from the.
Hey, Dave, can I just say something? So I attend Be Hope, and then with the widening project there, we need to get together and make sure that the flag is still there.
Yeah.
The poles are still there because of that widening project. So we need to make sure that that's
10 feet.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, yeah. Does anyone else want to jump in that knows more than I?
Nothing else, put them up back.
For me, maybe go back to the high school and do them.
Good luck. But like I said, we have to check to make sure.
I'll swing by on my way home.
All right. Or just part of them out that front row, John, we could just go from there. Problem is, when they're working there, like to create another issue. Oh, we have to see where the base is at.
Well, they took the public right away and I think they took another 5 feet.
Take a bit of, where is this? Okay, and trunk or treats are still this Sunday, we hope, from 2 to 4 at Beavercreek High School. In the far parking lot down by the woods, we're still doing that Sunday. All right. Sergeant at Arms report, Mr. Chris. Get out here. I appreciate it.
All right, good afternoon again, fellow Rotarians, and hello again to our soon-to-be future Rotarian Walter, and of course our incredible speaker who will be up here shortly. And welcome again to the October 24th meeting of the Beavercreek Rotary Club. And I would be doing Rotary a huge disservice, especially for those, if anyone made it out there on par last night, if I didn't say that and let everyone know that today is World Polio Day. Moving on to some birthdays and anniversaries, we have Sandy Brubaker celebrating a birthday tomorrow on the 25th. And then Josh Foster celebrating his birthday on the 26th. Other than that, no other anniversaries or birthdays, which means we need to get some new members, have birthdays, anniversaries, or become a member this month. Because if not, I'll be up here for a very short time. I know everyone loves me being up here talking. So moving on, some good things that happened today in history. Going back to 1901, American school teacher Annie Taylor was the first person to go over the Niagara Falls in a barrel. Her reasoning for doing so was to secure herself financially for her later years. She lived the tale, although she did not make much more money from the act. 1929, Black Thursday became a thing when the New York Stock Exchange collapsed, dropping 11% and began the decade-long Great Depression, which if I think you hop on YouTube or Twitter these days, people would say buy the dip, that big of a drop. 2018, on the other side of the spectrum, someone in South Carolina won a $1.6 billion lottery jackpot, making it the biggest win in U.S. history at the time. The winner chose a lump sum payout instead of the 30-year annual payments, which brought her home $904 million. And then in 2021, a pair of Michael Jordan's 1984 Nike Air shoes broke the record for the highest selling sneakers at auction. This particular pair of Nikes sold for $1.472 million, and they are known as they are the earliest known shoes that Jordan wore in a regular season game. Wow. Now on to some fun things to celebrate. Starting tomorrow, we got Make a Difference Day. And then this one definitely is one that Taylor Swift is a fan of. It is National Tight End Day. Sunday, we got National Pumpkin Day and Howl at the Moon Day. Monday is the Navy's Day, along with Cranky Coworker Day, which is perfect for a Monday. Tuesday, we got National First Responders Day and National Chocolate Day. So I assume Rainey's going to be taking chocolate into the firehouse for everyone. Wednesday, we got National Cat Day and National Internet Day. And Thursday, we got Speak Up for Service. And then this one was definitely created by a guy. It's National Text Your Ex Day. Some other things that do, pretty much between now and next Friday, there's some sort of trick or treat, trunk or treat, or pop or Halloween festivities every day. So I'll let you guys go through all of those out there instead of spending the next hour going through everything that's going on. Tonight, I don't want to jinx any certain team, and unfortunately, Brian's not here to talk about it. So just know there is something going on tonight, and go sports team. Wednesday, we got our friends at the chamber will have their Zoom business boost on time management. And then Thursday, we got coffee with a cop at fresh time from 8 to 10 a.m. And then I know Bengals fans here love seeing Jamar Chase's stat line from Thursday night with all the receptions and yards that he had. But one of my favorite ones was in that game, he was targeted 23 plays. And that is because later on Sunday, the Las Vegas Raiders, as a whole entire team in a whole entire game, only had 30 offensive plays. But not to be outdone by the Browns in 1999, who only had 28 plays in an entire game. And to be fair to the Browns, here's an accomplishment that they don't have. Also on Sunday, the Giants set a record for giving up the most fourth quarter points in an NFL game after giving up 0 points through the first 3 quarters. They gave up a total of 33 points in the fourth quarter. And does anyone remember how many points the Giants scored the whole game? 32.
Oh, wow.
All right, some Beavercreek School awesomeness. Last week we had Wayne, we beat Wayne 20-17. And they also had what WHIO called the play of the week. If you have not seen that play in the fourth quarter, definitely hop on. It's all over Beavercreek social and news outlets as well. The middle school cross-country girls, to no surprise, they took first place in the OSHAA middle school state meet. They won that meet by 75 points, thanks to having runners finish 2nd, 4th, 5th, 17th, and 13th.
Wow.
Women's varsity volleyball unfortunately lost to Fairmont in the district semifinals. Women's varsity soccer beat Fairmont 3-0 in district semifinals and then won their 5th district title in 10 years by upsetting Mason. And they will go on to play state later this month. And then the men's varsity soccer team beat Springfield 4-0 in district semifinals. And that brings us to our favorite part, today's fines. If you're not wearing your badge, that will be $1. If you were late, and I'm not going to call you out, that'll be $1. If you have ever played the lottery, that is $1. If you've ever bought a pair of Jordans, that'll be $1. This one's oddly specific. If you've ever watched football just for the tight ends, that'll be $1. And even more specific, if you've ever come to a Rotary meeting and picked up somebody's camera to take pictures, that'll be $1. Ooh. David, how happy us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody have any happy bucks? Yeah.
Yeah, should I stand up? My name's Deborah, and I'm happy that I'm here because I moved and I live off of Shakertown, and I'm very much looking for anybody who lives close enough they might be able to pick up on Friday mornings and bring me back on Friday mornings.
Look right here.
And just, let me know, please.
Anybody else got a happy bucks?
I do. So, as most of you know, like, so my son's soccer team's over, so I'm super happy about that. I feel like every weekend we're in another city or another state, but, this weekend or last weekend, we actually wrapped up. He played 3 tournaments and they won all 3. So he, won all 3, we call it the Triple Crown. So he won all 3 tournaments. So we're pretty pumped and excited about that.
Oh.
Today I'm gonna drive to South Carolina today to see my oldest daughter Emma, and our youngest daughter is flying down from Boston so that we can kind of get the family together down at her new house. Then we're gonna go to the South Carolina Alabama game this weekend. So
Oh. Sounds good. Any other happy bucks?
I'll give a happy
Oh,
vote now. I'm happy that I just turned on that slideshow when it worked.
Yeah, Fred?
The Beavercreek High School band is wrapping up their season with the state finals Saturday. So that'll be Saturday up there. So,
Steve, you have something?
I don't think so.
Well, I'd like to have your hand up there.
Us. I got one to say that I'm happy that I am the only person here that completed the reason, third part of RLI. Even though there is a ticket filling that Joe was there, but we can either confirm or deny. But secondly, next month I can officially say that plans are made. My wife and I will be traveling with my wife. She's going to Hawaii for a work conference. I'm going to Hawaii to be supportive and take a look behind.
Support her on her trips. I'll go for 5 happy bucks too. Already give to Chris. Our own Paul Otten, one of our members here, was named the Superintendent of the Year for the state of Ohio. I think it says a lot about Beavercreek schools and the kind of leadership we've got when they get that kind of recognition statewide.
So,
Paul, you want to say something?
no, I was surprised by that, honored. It's honestly, I think it's a representative of our staff. I mean, it's truly, we do great things because we have great kids to start with. And we've got a great staff that's always looking to do stuff differently. And so I'm honored to be able to have that, honored to be able to represent Ohio. And so I'm still at a loss of words with it, but very excited. And my wife, I think, was the biggest surprise to her. So, no, very honored, and I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. I know you put in a lot of hours. Some people don't realize when it's snowing and stuff, he's going out driving at 3 o'clock in the morning.
To saying that people can get to work or to school, kids. Okay, 50/50, you ready for that?
Oh, no. Yeah, well, what if I pick one? Then we'll call you Jim.
Well, then, thank you.
Just say.
All right, the last three numbers are 624. 624. Anybody at the table? Did you call your Randy?
No, I did not.
I'll be your mom.
I'm glad that worked out over there.
Don't talk about right here.
Yes, sir.
Decisions.
For sure. Lord, let's finish. Lord, already. Okay, you're second. No, sure.
Yes.
Hot girls. As y'all know, 50% of the proceeds go to our Christmas baskets that we give out every year. Next, Don, would you like to introduce our speaker? Yes. Thanks, Don.
Or we should have actually, she was related to one of our old-time members here, Ed Phillips' granddaughter. Yeah, so this is Rachel Pyle. She worked as a contractor for several years, right?
Contracting officer.
Contracting officer up there. She's done a lot of different things. She's a graduate of Wright State. And, that's all. They cover all of your But I met Rachel the first time, probably a few months ago, when she talked to me about what she's going to talk to us about today. And found her to be a very intelligent young woman, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what she has to say. So without any further ado, Rachel Pyle.
Thank you very much, Don. I appreciate that. Yeah, so like you mentioned, I'm a Beavercreek native actually, so I graduated from Beavercreek High School in 2008. I'm the third generation of my family to graduate from Beavercreek High School, and my kids are now the fourth generation, but my son's in kindergarten right now. So it's pretty fun to be in the area. And so what I'm talking to you guys about today is LifeWise Academy. Have any of you guys heard about LifeWise Academy? Do you have, let me raise your hand? Okay. So basically, my main intent today is just to spread awareness of the program, let people know the opportunities to get involved, just to better understand what it is. So we'll go ahead and get started. So what it is, it's Bible education for public school students during school hours. Okay, that's me. And there's my email address if anyone would like to contact me after this, rachelpyle@lifewise.org. So I'm Beavercreek's program director. All right, so why we exist. So students need the word of God, right? So there's all-time highs among youth right now in anxiety, depression, and suicide. There's a mental health crisis that kids are facing today, and there seems to be very little solutions to how we're going to solve this problem. So something that's also at an all-time low is Bible literacy, church attendance, and professions of faith. So what LifeWise does is they utilize So LifeWise came in, they were founded in 2018 to be a plug and play program for all communities. So since this has existed since 1952, there have been different communities that have utilized the release time law in different ways. A lot of people I've talked to actually experienced those programs when they were younger, maybe their local church or smaller organization that did it, but they just weren't part of a national organization like LifeWise. So a lot of people have taken the classes, have participated, but there has not been an organization like LifeWise that has tried to launch it at a national level. So what LifeWise does is they remove the barriers to access and help more communities that launch their programs. So what they do is they provide resources like me as a program director. They give me all the tools that I need to come in and figure out how to get the logistics in place, how to get host sites for churches, get communities involved. So they make it easier for communities to launch their programs. So that's why it's plug and play. So you get a program director hired in your community, you have interest in your community, and then they start the process of working with LifeWise to bring the program to your schools. I think this is the video, but I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, well, there's a video here and it shows you, I can always send this out, or if anybody would like a copy of the video, but it gives a brief overview of what a LifeWise Day looks like, why LifeWise exists, shows you like a classroom, how the kids leave the school, come back to the school grounds, and just kind of, it gives you it's really nice to visually see how it works, because most people say, okay, how does that actually work? How are you gonna make this happen? So this video gives you a good overview of what it actually looks like, for a LifeWise program to operate. So how we do it. Our curriculum is just a foundational philosophy. We focus on the main and plain things of scripture. We do not get into specific denomination. We don't recommend people go to any specific church, or we don't promote any specific ideology of any sort. So it's just gospel centered. We're trying just to spread the gospel to our school students, and hope that it reaches them and their families, and that they can just encourage others to learn more about the Bible. So the gospel is just main and plain things of scripture. And we try to make our program excellent. It's consistent. We have high levels of like standards that we have to follow to make our program successful, with the people that we hire, the places that we operate our programs, the churches we partner with. And it's community driven. So while Likewise is an act to have volunteers, churches, community organizations that to come alongside us and help, whether it's volunteering, donating their time, donating their resources, talking with their churches or their friends about the program. That is really where all of this support comes from for our program. So everything is locally fundraised. All of our support comes from our community. So we have our resources from the national organization, our training and guidance like that, but we have to have our community involved to make the program successful. Okay, so this is a chart of all of the states that currently have LifeWise programs. This was from June of 2025. There's now 34 of 50 states and 1,100 schools that have LifeWise programs in them. So it's starting to spread all over the US. LifeWise actually started in Van Wert, Ohio, and their headquarters is in Hilliard, Ohio. So there's a lot of programs in the state of Ohio. You see a lot more here just because it is so close. Our founder actually was an Ohio State football player, so that's his whole big thing, but he's a big Buckeye, and so people really like that. But yeah, so it's an Ohio-based organization, but I mean, there's programs in Washington, California, Arizona, it's all over the US. And the goal is to have this program available for students in all 50 states. This is just a little overview of our curriculum. So students journey through the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelations in 5 years. So it's a 5-year program. We have curriculum for elementary, middle school, and high school students. So we can basically, how we decide where we're providing our curriculum is just based on where we have interest and where we have churches that can host us. So right now we're starting at an elementary school because we have a church near an elementary school that can host us, because as you can imagine, we have to transport kids off school grounds, get them a lesson, and then bring them back to school in a short time period. So classes are offered during lunch, or in recess time, or during another non-graded period of the school day. So it doesn't interfere with the core curriculum. That is one of the other, policies that we have to follow. And it's all parent permitted. So if a parent says, I think my child really needs lunch and recess, I don't think this is a good use of their time. Okay, they don't need to sign up for LifeWise. So it's your choice, as a parent and as a family, if you feel that this is something that you want your child to learn about. But all of the lessons, it's the curriculum is called the Gospel Project, but they also tailor it to have character traits that each lesson, so it's called a LifeWise trait. So it's character building, it's character education, but it's actually highlights the Bible basis that those lessons come from. So we kind of incorporate it all. So where we've been, so here's the history of Beavercreek locally. So people started signing our community interest list in 2021, I'm sorry. And I was hired in July of 2025. So we're still pretty new. It's just been a few months since we've started this, but there have been people who have been saying they're interested since 2021. So we've been getting information out there, getting signatures, gauging interest for a few years. Community impact in ways that you can help with this program, praying, right? That's first and foremost, praying for our program, praying to see if you or your community or your church have a way that you could get involved if you feel passionate about it. And then we also need financial partners. So people that are willing to, I have little student sponsorship cards on the table over there. We need people who are willing to sponsor students or even just give recurring donations. Some programs have churches that partner with them and they become regular donors for the program and they see it as like a local mission. So there's a lot of different ways that people can get involved. You can also sponsor events, like you could say, or items. You could say, I want to buy all of the Bibles for this classroom, or I want to help buy a bus. We need a bus. If anybody wants to buy a bus, that'd be great. I would love a bus. But just things like that. There's a lot of ways that people can jump in and get involved if you just consider what your times and talents are, or just if you just want to pray, that's helpful too. We can, use any support that you're able to give us.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, this is good. Okay, got it. Okay, so the impact of LifeWise. So LifeWise transforms hearts and minds. When kids get exposed to the gospel, it changes the way that they feel. It helps them. It improves their school performance. It reduces violence and bullying in schools. It helps just provide, like it actually reduces in-school suspensions and improves attendance. So there have been studies that have shown that like schools that have LifeWise programs have actually seen improved attendance, decreased bullying, increased academic performance. And there's entire families that have been baptized or just had a relationship with God that didn't have one before because they had a child in their family just saying, can we go to church or can you tell me about the Bible? So it's very impactful. Where we're going. So here's our plans. So we started enrollment for this fall and we had pretty low enrollment number. So we did not start our program in October like we had originally hoped. So right now we're thinking January 2026 is more realistic. It's available to Maine Elementary first, third, and fifth graders. Potential next schools where we have host sites, identify churches that are willing to host would be Shaw Elementary and Trayvine, but that's just kind of potential one day. There's nothing out there really yet, but it's just, we have close churches that we'd be able to transport students to at those locations. But right now, our goal is to just launch a program at Maine Elementary, make that successful and get students in there. The reason we're not doing second and fourth grade, a lot of people ask me that question. It's just because all the construction right now, there's second and fourth grade are at the beginning and the end of the day for their ungraded classes. And so trying to get in with pickup and drop off and all of that, we just decided it would be best to avoid that time. So eventually second and fourth grade would be added, but there's just a lot going on over there right now. So we're gonna wait on that. But our goal is to make LifeWise available to all Beavercreek students at the elementary schools, middle school, and high school levels. But it'll take time. It's something we want to make sure that each school is operating very effectively and smoothly before we branch out to any other locations. But that's the long-term plan. So what it will take to get there. So prayer, like I mentioned, volunteers, teachers, bus drivers, class assistants, people just to volunteer, even just to pass out information at outreach events. You could come, like I was at the popcorn festival all weekend. So if anybody wants to come to the popcorn festival, and then I could sleep a little bit more a couple of days, things like that. And then ambassadors. So you can be an ambassador just by wearing a LifeWise shirt. They're $5. I've bought a bunch of different shirts for people. So you just by wearing your shirt, or even just being able to tell people what LifeWise is in your community, is very helpful. You could, if you're a member of a church and you feel called to support this ministry, you could let them know, hey, I heard about this program. Can we support them? Have you heard about it? And just be a connector even for the resources that you have. And then also, your resources, like financially, if you're willing to donate. We are a nonprofit organization, we're 501(c)(3). So donations are always helpful. That would pay for our staff costs, curriculum, just the basic operating expenses of the program. And up here, I have a QR code if anybody likes to do QR codes. And then I have these links up here because I wasn't sure if this was going to be emailed out afterwards, but basically if you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our website. But then these links specifically are where you can donate, you can join our team so you can see what opportunities we have available right now. I know everybody, like when you say you need a bus driver, I'm sure everybody's like, yeah, everybody needs a bus driver. But yeah, if you know anybody that's a bus driver or has a bus or even a shuttle or anything like that, those are the types of things that we most urgently need right now. We have some great teachers and volunteers that have already stepped up. But then you could also enroll your student, or just share with your family if you have grandchildren that are in the schools. This also LifeWise is not just at Beavercreek City Schools. There's a lot of local programs that are launching right now. So if you know anyone in the community, or even if you live and work in an area outside of Beavercreek, you can share and look up where your program is online. So if you go to lifewise.org, you can find your program for your school district. And if they haven't already launched a program, you could sign a community interest list to say you would like a program to be launched. Or you could go and see what opportunities are available in your district. So there's always need for more people, more support. And then, yeah, I'm on Facebook too, our LifeWise Facebook page. I share resources and updates on there if anyone's on Facebook. And then this link down here is just learning more about the program. That video that I had embedded is on that website as well, but it's lifewise.org. And then there are also, brochures on the table, and I can provide more materials to anyone if you have questions or want to learn more about it. I can connect you with more resources. But it's pretty exciting. I think it's going to be a really awesome program. I think we just need a little bit more time raising awareness in the community and getting people to understand what LifeWise is, because it's some parts of Ohio have had programs for years and are very familiar, and then other parts are just kind of learning about it. So I think we're just trying to gain interest and support. Does anybody have questions? Yes.
So do you do any type of program activities or service programs outside of the school time?
With the LifeWise students?
Yeah.
I mean, there can be, there's nothing that says that you can't organize those types of events with your students. Right now, since we're just getting started, we don't have a group of students that we're organizing, doing activities yet, but I mean, I think that would be a great thing to get involved in. And even just getting the kids out. I know some people have, some programs have festivals where they donate, they find, they collect non-perishable goods, do donation drives, things like that. So I mean, it really can operate and go alongside other community organizations that do volunteer hours and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of, so there, while it is a plug and play model and there's a lot of resources available to it, there's also a lot of flexibility in how you want to run your program. So you work with the school district closely to figure out how the program will look in your school district. And then you go from there. So it's just, it's pretty, yeah.
I think Eric's trying to find you, but you're,
I'm trying to find I don't have a link for it.
Oh, it's in slide 8. If you go into I can do it real quick if you want. That would be great if we play the video.
nationally, how many,
At the bottom, if you go to the notes.
nationally, how many students are involved with LifeWise?
She said,
That's a good question. It's in over 1,100 schools. The number, I could get a number for that, but it's, I want to say it's over 5,000. I want to say the most recent number I heard was 5,500.
Okay.
But there also was, last night, actually, there was a limited release movie called, if you go into the school, it's kind of hidden. School, this art. There's another thing, that's right.
Oh, yeah, great. Looks as my lesson to see it. Sure.
What's it called? That's fine, we have to, I can send a video out if anybody wants to see it, that's fine. But there was a documentary that was released last night, in theaters, it was actually at Regal, but it's all across the US, there was a documentary released called Off School Property, and and that talks about LifeWise, the history of removing the Bible from education and what's happened and just the mental health issues that we see in students today in school, and just how LifeWise comes alongside schools to try to provide this character education. So it'll also be available in 30 days on Angel Studios. So if you guys if you have that app or if you can access that, the video will be there as well. So it's just exciting and just raising awareness of the program, and helping everyone understand what we're doing. Yeah, so, yeah.
I think it's badly needed. I
You think so?
character education is really what we're missing. It's not that we're not getting people that are more academically prepared. Certainly the schools are trying to do a good job in that area, but boy, this is an area that's really a challenge today.
Mhm. The goal, so my son's only in kindergarten, so I haven't seen a lot, but I've heard that Beavercreek has a really great character education program. But I think adding an extra layer of the Bible education with it for parents and students that desire it can always be helpful and help improve the climate. I don't think that our goal is to complement what already exists. So that's our goal, and just to hopefully, bring families to church. Yeah. Yes.
how long do you get to keep the students then during the day? Couple of periods?
So it's once a week for a max of 1 hour, so it'll be about 45 minutes once a week. So a lot of kids call it LifeWise Day, so it's their one day that they know they get to go to LifeWise. So yeah, it might be during a class period, an ungraded class period, or during lunch and recess time. So both of those will end up being about 45 minutes. And so that isn't a lot of time, and a lot of people ask, how do you get all this done in 45 minutes? So whether students are walking, so if there's a location where they can walk to the class, that's great. But if they're riding a bus, right when the kids get on the bus, the teacher starts reviewing last week's lessons, singing songs, giving an overview of what they learned the week before. So they fully utilize that whole amount of time. So ideally, it ends up being pretty similar to what they would get in like a Sunday school lesson, the amount of the actual lesson. Then we play games, especially if it's during lunch and recess, they try to get the kids up and running and playing and doing things because kids still need that outlet, and to get moving a little bit. So depending on when the class is offered, the teachers work to try to make it fit nicely into their day, get everyone there and back and get their lesson learned. Yeah.
I've got one.
Yeah,
And maybe it's in the video.
yeah.
He's send those out. You reference, performance enhancements.
Mhm.
And you guys have studies and data we can see?
Yeah, so I can send a link for it, but there's actually, a resource that shows a study that was done. It's like 30 pages of information about the results that programs have seen and how it's helped students. And there's also been, a lot of feedback that we've heard from different school districts that, even like they know it's a pain, right, to get everything in place and to get a program up and running, but once they do, they see the benefits and they're thankful and they actually want more classes available. So we know it's something that's not easy to do, but it's something we think is worthwhile and that everyone can benefit. And it's, it's the future, right? Our kids are the future. And so we have to pour into them and give them these opportunities. So, yeah, I think it's been really impactful so far, but there is, yeah, I can send a link. There's a study that's available on our website. Yeah. Yep.
I just wanted to say, I appreciate you being another positive influence and a positive voice in youth in our community. I think it does make change.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I appreciate that. We're trying.
I'll second that. I just wish somebody from city schools was here today to hear this.
Hey, I could do a shout out. They've been very helpful all the time. So they've been great. No, they've been wonderful. I didn't want to put them on the spot, but yeah, they've been wonderful. And so it is, they know when I was saying it's complicated. I'm like, looking at you guys, I know. But no, Beavercreek schools have been great. We're very thankful. Because it's not, well, it's something we're allowed to do. We don't want to be pushy or, make anything too complicated for anybody. So yeah, it's been good. Yeah.
Can I ask a question of Paul?
Yeah.
Is this the first program like this in Beavercreek School?
So yeah, this is, and Rachel's been great to work with us too. Rachel clearly knows what the laws are so this is really the first group that has come in. We kind of view it as a parent has a right to take their child out when they want to go to a doctor's appointment. And so they have a right by Ohio Revised Code that they're permitted to come and the child's able to leave for prayer. And Rachel, like I said, she's been working close with Dale. As long as we follow the rules, we're fine as well too. So it's been good relationship.
Thank you.
And I've never heard that before. So the very beginning, what's the litigation?
Zorak versus Clausen.
Never heard of it.
So a lot of people haven't because it's not commonly used so it's interesting because I've talked to so many people, like I said, that they've been a part of a similar program, but it was like their local church offered it, or there was a parent who offered it, or a smaller use of the law. But yeah, Zorak versus Clausen, Supreme Court ruling from 1952 is what allows it. But then there is Ohio Revised Code that allows it as well. So there's legislation at the Supreme Court level. So we've got federal, state, and local policy that allows it. It's just getting it into a model that fits, and also just including, it doesn't have to be, anyone can be in LifeWise, it's not you don't have to already identify as a Christian it can be anyone from any different walk of life. I've even said, for people who just believe, like historically, that the Bible is something they should be studying and learning about, that the students need that just from that aspect even. To me, we had a church that we belonged to and we went every Sunday and we loved it, but then now we have sports all the time and our kids we can't make it, or it's the only morning that we actually have together as a family. And so it's just to remove boundaries so that it's more accessible and it's part of the school day. Because I do think there are people who feel that students should be getting this education, or they just wish they had more access to it. So it just removes those barriers. It's intentionally different than before and after school programs, just to work around busy parent schedules, parents both working full time, daycare, there's a lot of different reasons why students might not participate in a before or after school program. So we just want to make it easy. Yeah.
Do you know if there's any plans to implement this program in the surrounding communities?
Yeah, so Xenia just launched a program, Bellbrook just launched a program, Centerville is in the process, Fairmore, Vandalia, Detroit, yeah, much everywhere, either just launched a program or is in the process of it. LifeWise as a national organization actually doubled in size from 2024 to 2025. So there's a lot of growth happening right now. So it's been a big time for growth, but if you go to lifewise.org, you can there's a link where it says find your school, or there's also a QR code in those brochures, and you can look up any school district. So even if a school doesn't have a program or isn't in the process of launching one, they'll have a page. So they've created a page for any community. So the community interest list can be started by anyone at any time. They can come and find it. So that's nice because it's just, they try to take all the work out of it really for you. So that's easy to figure out where. And then also, when people sign their community interest list, they can state like what school they're interested in seeing the program launched at. And that's helpful for us to know, okay, we've got 20 families that have kids at this school that would really like it. We only have 5 at this other one. So maybe we try to find a church near the one with the 20 families. And it also doesn't have to just be churches that host our classes. It can be any sort of community, a community like event space. So like senior citizen centers have hosted classes, libraries, any kind of community space could host classes. Yeah. Yep.
What do you think has contributed most to the growth that you've seen, that Likewise has seen over the past year?
I think so. They started in 2018 and then COVID hit right when they were launching. And so I know they kept moving during that time, but I think that slowed things down a lot. Because it's hard to, when kids aren't in school, you're not running a school-based program. So I think that it was the type of thing where once they got back up and running after COVID and the word just started to spread, it just kind of took hold. And they do, Likewise does a good job presenting their information at different conferences, sharing with different churches. I know a lot of people have told me, oh, I was at this leadership conference or I was at this event and I learned about it. So they have people that are ambassadors that are going like nationally that are going around and sharing the message. So before you even have a program director in place, there's people from Likewise National sharing the information and letting people know that they're out there. So, also the curriculum is available for view online. If anybody wants to see the curriculum, you can request a copy of the curriculum online. So that's another thing. Some people want to know exactly what students are being taught. So that is available for view online if anybody's interested in that. But it's the gospel project that's tailored for Likewise specific character traits.
All right, any other questions? Comments?
If anybody wants to sign, we have a campaign list over here where I can get your contact information if you want to read more about Likewise, or be on our newsletter. I send out updates through our newsletter. So if you want to sign up for that, I've got a notebook over here. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, to take a picture. Oh, okay.
You all ready, Chris?
No.
You want us to find the flag or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's sorely lacking. The teachings. Anything else?
Yep, I have an announcement. We have our date set for our Christmas basket project. We will be delivering from Dots Market in Bellbrook on December 20th, about 8:30. And then we will be wrapping gifts at the Beavercreek Township Community Room on the 17th, Wednesday before. Next, I'll have a sign-up sheet for those of you who might be new. This is a project that we've had for Rotary for over 20 years. Last year we delivered to 75 families and we bought gifts for 124 children in the Beavercreek area that were in need. So the sign-up sheet will be available next week. So we'll hear more about it then.
That's good. We're planning that, but I'll have to go write that down.
Hey, Dave,
Yes,
do we know how much more money we need for the gift?
So we have a grant and what was it? $4,500 grant.
400.
4,400.
Thank you.
Yes, and then our club actually raises the other half of that.
Do you know where we're at on that?
We don't know where we're at until like April.
All right.
But historically, this club has been very generous and we have met the halfway mark on the grant.
all right. I know This does not look like a Hawaiian shirt. These are not Hawaiian shorts. I got out, looked at the ice, and heard Peter's thing this morning. And all the water was froze, so I capitulated and put on a long sleeve shirt. But it is a Halloween shirt. Okay, count. Oh, and Halloween's 7 days from now. Just trying to let you know.
Dave, you're just keeping safe during hunting season.
Pardon?
You said you're keeping safe in your blaze orange during hunting season.
Yes, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Do we start wearing our Christmas shirts now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christmas sweaters.
yes, yes.
Yeah, we'll have to put that on a meeting now.
Yep.
It's too cold for Hawaiian shirts. Anything else for the good association? Any comments? Y'all rise to the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag and stand prepared. Keep it above and one nation under God. This all to be for all. Gentlemen, have a good week. We have anytime this fall. Thanks. You. Yeah, it's all fluid. That's true. That's what. In that tree. Look in the spring. So here's books. It's kind of me. I just wish you know, I'm from here. I'm fine. Okay, did you bring up?
Like, but seriously, we should implement it. Like, it's a great idea. Get the line first, and let's implement it. Sweaters. I don't know. Like every season, have a different. If you're on here. No, I think we should. I think winter, like all, we have, implement sweaters, and then after Christmas, maybe we'll implement I don't know. But I think.